battery. Moving on to the fridge. In this vehicle it has a 142 litre fridge with a 15 litre freezer capacity. Your vehicle may have something slightly different, but the principles of what I'm about to show you will be the same. So because we've got our 12 volt on, the power is on, and this little pin light here on the power switch shows that it is on. Next to it we have a status button that if I press it, you'll see A comes up for automatic. We want to leave the fridge on automatic at all times. It's showing that we've got our gas on and it is currently using gas. And then the bars are the temperature. 4 out of 5 bars is a good temperature for these fridges. Now we leave it on automatic because it's a 3-way fridge. It will sense, so long as we give it one power source, in this case gas, or if we plug in 240 volt, it will automatically change over to a power plug symbol and use the power, even if we've got our gas on. Or if we're driving and we've got our gas off and we've got the power off, a battery symbol will come up once we turn the ignition on, and that uses the 12 volt while we're driving only. Don't change it to use the battery normally. You'll flatten your batteries. It's only while it's driving. So that's the fridge all set to automatic. That's the key. Below the fridge we have compartments and drawers, and they have a push button principle to lock to save them coming out. Moving on to the fridge, the kitchen rather. This model has a cutting board on one side, or a cover, and you can store that in the cupboard. You can store that in the cupboard if you're not using it, alright, or if you're driving so it doesn't jump off and hit the floor. Inside, while we're inside the cupboard, you've got 4 isolating switches for gas. So they're marked accordingly. One is for the oven, one's for the stove, one's for the heater, and one's for the fridge. So if you have a problem with gas, which you shouldn't, but if you do, you can isolate it and still use the other gas appliances. Back to our sink, you'll see that we've got the plug in. We recommend that you leave the plug in while you're not using it, because as your grey water accumulates, it will may develop a smell which will come up through the pipes. You might think it's your toilet, it'll actually be the grey water. So you can get deodorizers for your grey water tank, but keep those down in the meantime. Your tap swivels and hot and cold. Once you've got your heating going, lift to turn the water on. And make sure they're turned off and that your water pump's not running. Alright, to the stove, it's got a glass top which acts as a backsplash as well. You'll see the measurements for the pots recommended here, so don't go beyond that, otherwise you're going to be putting out heat and potentially cracking the lid or melting parts here. Now this is on an electric starter, so this is connected to your 12 volt, so if we press it, you'll hear it clicking away. We get the gas, press and turn to flame. There we go, it's lit up. Just hold it on for just a minute or two until it warms up, and then it will carry on. I'll try the next one. Again, hold it for a little while. Now that one burns a little more vigorously because it's for a bigger pot. And the third one, there you go. We're cooking with gas. Make sure that if you're not using the gas heater, don't put hot pots straight on the glass, you'll crack it. Put a cork pot stand or similar on the bench or the top. We've got a gas oven here. It's an oven grill, so grill is to the right and bake is to the left, off in the middle. You've got this little piece that comes out here to protect the knob while you're grilling. If you're grilling, you must keep the oven open to let it breathe. If you close it, you'll turn off the gas supply and it will not grill for you. We have a grill plate in the vehicle, and you can use that. It's got a little handle. We'll try turning it on. So you'll see in the reflection in the bottom when I use the heater, the automatic starter rather, turn it to grill, wait for the gas to come through. Here we go, and you'll see in the reflection the gas is burning on the top rail. Alright, and then off, and then to bake, turn it to bake, press and hold, use the starter, and you'll see the element across the back is for bake. Then you can set your temperature, etc. off in the middle. Right, it's the oven, and obviously a drawer for your cutlery, etc., and a lock. Power points in the kitchen, you'll generally have two somewhere, either on the side or up above the kitchen for 240 volt. Remember, they'll only work when you're plugged into 230 volt unless you have an inverter fitted on your vehicle. Lights, you have a light, backlight, and spotlights here and around underneath the vehicle. Blinds, so we recommend when you're cooking, have your blind up so that you don't dirty this blind. Alright, window operation, they've got little push buttons that you must push and then turn. If you turn them without pushing, you'll break them. Then you can push it out and tighten the strut there. They've also got a little setting here in the middle that you can lock it into that allows a little bit of fresh air to come up through the crack, and then you can pull down your blind, your mozzie net, and have a bit of fresh air. But we recommend that you close those when you're driving, otherwise you're going to drag in dirty air from the outside. So obviously a two-way blind, privacy and mosquito net, or completely open altogether. Okay, that's the kitchen.